In a recent video about one of our new features in AdapTable, our AG Grid extension, which is the grid filter, we mentioned that these were able to be saved and reused both as grid filters and elsewhere. We've had a few questions from existing and potential users to ask exactly how that works. So that's what we'll try to do in this video. It's a big topic, so we're only going to scratch the surface, but hopefully it will give a sense of how expressions in AdapTable are reusable. So the first thing we'll do is we will actually create a grid filter. So let's do that now. Let's use the new query builder, and we will have just two clauses. We'll keep it simple. We'll say where the language is equal to, let's choose, I don't know, JavaScript, and let's do another condition. Let's say GitHub watchers, and this time we'll do a greater than, and we will do, and let's create a new number, so we'll create 500. So there we are, a very simple grid filter with two clauses. Language is JavaScript, GitHub watchers is greater than 500. If you want to see it in expression editor, that's how it looks. So let's now apply that, and we can see that we have 10 out of the 25 rows. And if you want to reuse it, it's simply a case of now we can save it. We can give it a name. So let's call it big.js. That's a summary of what we've done. And there we are. That's now available as what's called a named query big.js. And therefore, if we clear this and we get all our rows back, whenever we want, we can go into named queries. We can see any that we've previously created, and we can run them, and we get our rows. You can, of course, as I said, use this elsewhere. So what does that mean? So let's, for instance, create a new format condition. So it's a conditional style, it's a format column. Let's do all rows, so let's do all columns, so it's the whole row. And let's create a condition using a query. And instead of just adding the columns, we can now see we have all our named queries available. We just have the one. And when I reference this, it uses the query. So this is a keyword AdapTable provides. And essentially query takes the name of a query, but there's nothing stopping us adding an additional elements to the expression. So for instance, we will say also where it has wiki. So this is an expression to say, I want to color anything which matches this named query, and also where this column is true. Let's now create a style so we can see it. And there we are. So that shows us, that's highlighting all the styles. And in fact, we can see that it's working, because if we rerun our named query, we now see we get only the rows that match. But of course, we get these three rows. They're not colored because they're not part of big.js, but they are part of our format condition. And of course, everything is live. So if I was to make this one true, then it will be colored. And equally, if I was to change, no, it's GitHub watchers. If I was to change this one to 200, as soon as I press enter, that row will disappear because it will no longer match the query. And indeed it does. So there we are. We've just skimmed the surface of it, but we see how easy it is in AdapTable to create a grid filter, to name it as a named query so that we can run it whenever we want. And of course, we can then use it elsewhere in format column as we've done here, or in alerts, or in conditional styles, or in many other places where we create expressions which are evaluated by AdapTable QL, our native query language. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about AdapTable, please get in touch. We'll be delighted to provide you with a free, no obligation trial license so you can try it out yourself, or give you a one-to-one demo. Thank you for watching.